What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today just so happens to be Wednesday, which means it's time for another installment of Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today is actually a collaboration between the Thin Man Brewery out of Buffalo, New York, and the Aslin Beer Company out of Herndon, Virginia, and this is their Keytar Bears. So they are calling this a sour ale that is brewed with strawberry, pineapple, vanilla, marshmallow, and lactose. Comes in at 5.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed at the time of review. This can is just under 3 months old. Now, they released this beer, the first batch of it, back in late 2018, and I never got around to actually picking up a can of it. So I just kind of missed out on the first release, and there was some mixed feedback. Some people really enjoyed it, some people really didn't like it. But they rebrewed this one about 3 months ago, and ended up picking up a can of it about a month after release, and it's been sitting in my fridge, and I just haven't gotten around to drinking it. So we're gonna drink it today. We're gonna review it, and yeah, it sounds like a very interesting beer. I've had some beers from Aslin before, and I really like what they do in Thin Man. I enjoy most of their offerings as well. So it's just one of those collaborations where it sounds like it could be awesome or maybe not. But that's why we review it. That's why we drink it. Like I said, I had a couple friends, especially the second batch, that picked it up and really dug it. But then there was a couple that were like, just not for me. So we'll see. We'll see what I think about it. I'm hoping it's delicious. I mean, you're talking about strawberries and pineapple, vanilla, marshmallow, I mean, lactose, sour ale. Sign me up. All right, let's give it a pour. Wow, that does not look like a beer that has strawberries in it. Although, when it comes to strawberries, they usually, aren't crazy red like raspberries or something like that. So anyway, that pours out this like really nice golden orange color. About a half finger of a bright white head, relatively creamy looking. But if I was pouring this looks like an older school like IPA, honestly. Or like an unfiltered golden ale. Oh, there's like little floaties and stuff in there. Interesting. Let's get a nose on it. Now, this has been on my fridge for about half an hour. You're talking probably 50 to 55, somewhere in that range. This honestly just smells like a generic, like a fruity generic sour ale. It doesn't smell bad at all. It's just, I'm not picking up the strawberry or pineapple. Maybe a little bit of the vanilla and lactose, a little bit of a, just straight up vanilla vibe to this one. Smells like it's going to have a decent tartness, maybe even borderline sour component to it. A slight touch of funk. Now as it opens up a little bit in the glass, I did just get a hint of strawberry. Yeah, a little bit of strawberry. It has a little bit of like a strawberry cream vibe to it. There's a malt component here that's biscuity and bready underneath it as well, slightly grainy. Okay, so, I mean, this doesn't smell amazing, but it doesn't smell bad. It just smells like a generic sour ale that has a little bit of fruitiness and vanilla to it. It actually smells pretty good, but with, 5, 6 different adjuncts in there, I'm not really picking up the marshmallow. I'm not picking up the pineapple. And yeah, so anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. Wow. Yeah, it's a nice beer. So right up front, there's a generic sweetness that I was kind of talking about in the nose. But as it passes through the palate, like a little bit of strawberry pops in, a little bit of vanilla. A little bit of like a marshmallow thing going on too. Not really any pineapple in this one though, for me. It has a solid tartness to it that is omnipresent throughout the entire palate, but it never becomes overbearing. As you can see, I'm going back. I mean, this is very easy to drink. 5.8%, lower side of medium body, cool. And the mouthfeel is, because of that lactose and the marshmallow and the vanilla and everything, I thought this would have a softer, smoother, like creamy vibe to it. This is actually quite carbonated. This is like your typical, like, effervescent sour. The finish is, there's a nice solid tartness and a pretty dry finish. It doesn't finish overly sweet, and you would think so with everything going on in this one. The best thing I can say about this beer is it's infinitely drinkable. It's an infinitely drinkable sour. This is like a session sour. It's under 6%. I could probably, you know, kill 2 or 3 cans of this. It's not overwhelming my palate. It finishes relatively clean with a pretty dry finish too. Yeah, I like this, but here's what I'll say. I like what's in my glass. I like what's in this can. I think it's a good, solid beer. But I can also see how people were disappointed by it because there are how many different adjuncts in here? 5: strawberry, pineapple, vanilla, marshmallow, and lactose. I'm only getting 2 or 3 of them, and they're not all that big. I don't know how much they're using as far as each of those adjuncts and fruits are concerned. But if they brew this another time, I would like to see those maybe bumped up a little bit, just because for something that has so much going on as far as the ingredients go, I want that to kind of resonate with me in the glass. I want it to kind of reflect what I think they're going for. If you told me none of those adjuncts or none of those ingredients were in the actual beer, I would just be like, this is a really nice fruited sour. There's got to be some kind of fruit or something in here, maybe some vanilla or lactose, but I couldn't tell you there's 5 different things going on in this one. But I always rate on personal preference, and I think this is a well-made, good sour. But as far as everything in the actual ingredients list, I'm not picking up on, you know, half of it. So I'll just say, rating-wise, personal preference, Keytar Bears from Thin Man and Aslin. I'm going to give this a solid 3.75 out of 5. It's a solid, tasty beer. If I was to rate it based on what's actually in the ingredients list and what they're going for, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5. I don't think they really hit the nail on the head for me personally. But if you see this kicking around town in the Western New York area, give it a go, see what you think about it. I think it's a good beer. I just don't necessarily get all the ingredients that they have listed on the can. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by for another Western New York Wednesday. I'll be back next week for another installment. We'll have another Western New York beer, and hopefully it's a good one. So appreciate you guys stopping by. To the next one, cheers.